This is my story of my amputation with pictures. What you'll see is graphic, so if you're in the least bit squeamish, do not watch. I also use this to mention all those who were pivotal in my recovery. If you're not personally mentioned, I didn't forget you. I do love and appreciate you all. In 2016, I broke my left hip. I was at work, and then the first day that I stood with my PT team in the hospital, I broke the right one. So now I have these two metal hips, but when I should have been able to walk freely after my surgery, I couldn't. Something just wasn't right with my left hip, and it still was very painful. I soon realized that another hip surgery was in my future. See the bones here? There should be plenty of gray area, which is the femur holding in the device. I barely had any bone, and the device was barely in my left leg. So, August 2008, I had my revision surgery. Those little barrette things, those are keeping my hip together. Although it held together well, the 2-day hospital stay turned into me on a ventilator for 7 days, a hematoma, a second surgery, and then a stint in the rehab facility. My family was super supportive at this time. Even though I was an hour away, they faithfully came to the hospital or to the rehab. AJ, Joy, Chloe, and my dad are my true reasons why I'm still here today. But going home too early and being in bed too much caused a blood clot, and not having feeling on my foot caused a sore that got worse. I was treated with warfarin for my blood clot, but I started getting things on my legs that weren't healing, and it was getting worse. And even though I kept it off the bed, the pain got worse by the day, and nothing even helped. My nurse, who came to my home twice a week, and wound care center, whom I saw 3 times per week, didn't know what was happening to my legs and why it was so painful. I would sit up at night in pain, crying. I started thinking, when did these lesions start on my legs, and why they seemed connected to the blood clot. What medicine did I take, and what was I taking? Oh my gosh, I remember warfarin. When I had the blood clot, I was prescribed warfarin. And then I started finding these articles that warfarin can cause a rare lesion for dialysis patients called calciphylaxis. I found this the night before I was admitted into the hospital, when wound care decided they can no longer treat this lesion on my foot that was becoming ulceric. I was admitted into the hospital on February 29th and transferred to MedStar Washington Hospital Center. After a battery of tests, including a skin biopsy, by March 2nd, they had a solution. In dialysis, while on the machine, an intern comes to me to say, "Your heel is dying, there's no blood flow, and you need to amputate to save your life. Or you can go home and probably die." My brother had literally stayed by my side since the day that I was in the hospital, and he was going home to Cleveland to his lovely wife minutes before I heard this, and he turned around and came back and stayed with me while I made the decision. It was difficult. I actually had to say goodbye to a lot of people, but ultimately I made the decision to amputate. I rehabbed first at National Rehabilitation Hospital in DC, then back in Landover where I was when I had my original hip revision. Again, my kids played a pivotal role in my recovery, but the healing process wasn't easy. I had calciphylaxis, and that was a skin used to cover my amputated leg. Healing was slow, dealing with being away from home, missing my family, and eating horrible hospital food. I had moments of severe depression. But eventually it was time to come home. I had friends and family who ensured my return home was going to be successful this time. My dad paid for renovations, grab bars in my bathroom, a hardwood floor to maneuver the wheelchair with ease, even cement ramps so that my wheelchair can get in and up in the house easily. I even put out an Amazon wish list that people purchase items I requested, or even sent gift cards. Patrice, my sister friend, made sure I had all the money I needed for my medication, which cost $500. So now I'm healed, and the next chapter begins of having a prosthetic leg. I'm scared. Will I be able to do this, or is lying in this bed 20 hours a day it for me? I hope not, because right now I'm not living, and I do think there is some life left. Thank you for watching. I'm going to put the links to the articles that I had below, and that's it for now. Thank you.